Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's been a while I made a tutorial. I am so busy with a little baby. Jack is 8 months now and I just don't have time for anything else but looking after him. But he's sleeping now, so I decided to start a tutorial. Lots of you have been asking for this and I think I've been holding this off for long enough. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to finish this tutorial, so by the time it cut to you it might be a while. And it's gonna be a long tutorial because as you can see it's a lot of beadwork, but stick around because it is so worth it. Look at this one. Isn't this gorgeous? And the back, the tiles have ugly backs, so we had to close it off with this awesome beadwork. And this one, look at that. So of course you will need the tile. So I have about 6-7 tabs in my shop. This is the one we used here. So look, the backs are not very cute. That's why we closed it off. And this is the one we used here, gold foil back. And then this is the one I think I'm gonna use today. This is pretty much same this, but in brown. I love brown. Reminds me of iris brown. Then I have a couple of double-sided marble effect ones. So this one you don't really have to close off the backs. And I think I have this simple black. And then you're gonna need delicates. I'm gonna be using this turquoise blue. All the beads in my shop come in these tubes, and when it comes to delicates you get them in 22 grams. This one is TB166. I will leave all the links in the description box. And then we're gonna need 15-0. I'm gonna be using Toho 22B, and 15-0s come in 25 grams. This one I used the same. This one I think I used a 15-0 Miyuki, so doesn't really matter which one you use. So that's all from the beads, and then you're gonna need your needle. I'm gonna be using size 10. I'm gonna be using white Naimo size D. I even have a sticker when I started it. So I started this thread on 23rd of October 2018. Still long to go. And scissors to cut your thread. So I'm gonna thread my needle with 2 yards. You will have to add eventually because it's a lot of beadwork. And we'll get straight to work. To start off, the side of this peyote is 35 beads wide. So pick up 35 delicates, 150 and repeat that 3 more times. So you have 4 sets of 35 delicates, 150. So I have this long string of beads now. So I have 35 delicates, 150, 35 delicates, 150, 35 delicates, 150, 35 delicates, 150. Make sure to double count, triple count. You have to have the numbers right. If they're wrong, the whole thing won't work. So I'm gonna push this till the end of my thread. Leave a short tail that I can sew in later, and make 2 overhand knots. 1, 2. And now I'm just gonna zoom in. To start off, we are basically gonna do peyote. So here I am. I'm gonna pick up a delica. See where I am? I'm gonna skip the first delica and pick up the next one. Pick up a delica. Because our circle is slack in the beginning, the beads might not settle in place, but once you go further, you can adjust that. It will look neater once you're done. 1 delica, see where your thread is? Skip 1 and go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip 1, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip 1, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip 1, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip 1, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Now once you have quite a lot going, make sure you just adjust the beginning so you don't have to come back all the way. So it looks like a peyote. Okay. Don't worry if it's still a bit wonky. You can fix it as you go along. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Now I'm quite way off now, so I just want to make sure it's all going nice and so I want to make sure it looks like proper peyote. And then pick up a delica, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one. When you reach this, you know you are doing right when you skip one bead and go through a 50 now. So you just continue doing peyote all around and meet me back. So as you can see, I'm almost there. So this is where we started. Just make sure it's not too twisted. So this is where I am. Gonna take this and there and just continue my peyote. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. And then here, step up. So now I'm just gonna stretch it out, make sure it's all not too tight anywhere. Fix places where it's not, doesn't look like peyote. So that's pretty much it. First circle done. Next row is pretty easy. All you do is just go through the sticking out beads. Pick up a delica, go through the next. 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 Delica, through the next. Delica, through the next, delica through the next, pick up a delica, go through the next, pick up a delica, go through the next, pick up a delica, go through the next, and this is the spot I want to show you, and then you can continue on your own. Pick up a delica and go through the next, pick up a delica, go through the next. Now here, the bead you're gonna add is gonna lie on top of the 50 so you want to make sure the one you add is also 50 Go through the next and continue in the same manner. So you just continue adding delicas on top of delicas, 50 on top of 50 and I'm gonna meet you in the very beginning. So I almost reached the end. So see where we started the fourth row. From here I want to make sure it's not twisted and coming straight. So I'm gonna hold that down. So that's where I have to connect it. Pick up a delica, go through the next. Just make sure it's not twisted, otherwise your band's not gonna be able to go around the tile. Delica, go through the next, and then the last 50 So see, I'm gonna 50 and go through the delica on the other side and step up. And that's it. Look, you have your band now. So continue, just like we added the fourth row, keep on adding more until you have 11 rows in total. Right now you have 4, so you need to add 7 more and meet me back here. So this is what I have now. Looks like a band bracelet. So anyways, just find any corner where you have 50 meeting delicas. You have to have 6 delicas and 5 50 So if you have that, it means you have 11 rows and you did everything right. And just for record, I already had to add a thread. And the tail, I also got rid of the tail. I just took it between the beads and cut the tail. I like to leave a short tail so I know where I ended the tails, and I usually leave them until the very end because I know I'll be passing through the beads and I don't want to go through the same spots again. So now I'll find where I am. This is where I finished. I added the last delica here, and I'm just gonna step up. And now we add our bezel. So to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and make corners. So I'm gonna press the sides, sort of turn it into a square, and see where the top, where my thread is. I want to make sure it's on the same side where the top of the tile will be. So it's gonna be a bit tricky because it's gonna be tight, but that's how you want it. Well, I did it 3 times, so it's not so tricky for me anymore. But yeah, just want to make sure to align the corners. So where the 50 are, those are your corners, okay? That's it. So now, from where I am, just gonna continue my peyote. Pick up a delica, go through the next, pick up a delica, go through the next, pick up a delica, go through the next, delica, go through the next. So because it's such a big bezel, I can't show everything I'm doing here because that will be hours and hours of video. So every time I will show one side and you just repeat it 3 times. One side 3 times. So whatever I do on one side, you just do the same thing and meet me back at the beginning. And that way it will be faster. It might still be a long video, but I like to explain in detail because I know a lot of my subscribers are beginners. And if you are not, and if you understand what I'm doing, you might not even have to watch a lot of it. Sometimes it's easy to tell, even by the picture, what has to be done. But if you're a beginner, stick around and do it with me. Delica through the sticking out bead, 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 Delica through the last sticking out bead. And here, without adding anything, you want to go through the 50 and up the Delica. So same way, add the Delicas through the 50 and same, and meet me back in the very beginning. So I'm almost back around. Now I can just remove the tile for now. And I will finish this round. Delica through the sticking out bead, Delica through the last sticking out bead, and step up. Now next row, Delica through the sticking out bead, Delica through the sticking out bead, Delica through the sticking out bead, Delica through the sticking out bead. Now I'm doing everything in one color, but because the surface of this beadwork is so big, you could add patterns. Like on this side here, you could add flowers or circles or squares or rounds or whatever, triangles. So you can be creative. I don't do patterns in my videos because patterns are, well, easier to follow from the paper than do a tutorial on it because it can take ages. But yeah, you can add your own styling a bit. But by the way, for next tutorial, we're gonna make a necklace with it. So I think for that tutorial, it's best to leave the sides without patterns, just to be aware. And the last one through the sticking out bead. See where I am now? This time I'm gonna pick up 150 now. See where I am? I'm gonna go through the sticking out bead on the next side. Like so. And you pull it, see, it creates the corner. And continue, add Delica. And same way. So continue peyote, add 50 peyote, 50 peyote, 50 and meet me again when we're finishing the circle. See, it's taking square form now. So I need to add my last Delica in this row. And then step up. And continue peyote. Delica through the next. Delica through the next. Delica through the next delica, through the next sticking out bead, delica, next sticking out bead, delica, next sticking out bead, delica, next, delica, next, delica, next, delica, next, delica, go through the last sticking out bead, and this time pick up 2 15 O's. Then here I am, see where my thread's coming out of, go through the sticking out bead on the other side, like so. So continue and meet me back around here. This is how it looks now. So I almost finished the circle, just have to add the last delica. And then step up and continue. Peyote, delica through the sticking out bead, 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 and then when you're at the end, pick up 2 15 O's and then see where we are. Take a needle through the sticking out bead on the other side and repeat for the other 3 sides. This is how it looks now. So finish the row, pick up a delica, go through the last bead. Now, without adding any delicas, take your needle to this last sticking out bead. So to do that, all I have to do is just go through existing beads, one at a time. Take your time. You don't want to miss any beads on the way and end up with exposed thread. That's not gonna look nice. Almost there. So my thread has to be coming out of this one. And there. Now pick up 3 15 O's. And then take your needle through the sticking out bead here. And repeat the same. Take your needle through the beads to the last corner there. Add 3 50 nose, 350 nose, 350 nose. So this is how it looks now. I just added the last 350 nose, and now what we're gonna do, see where I am? I'm gonna take my needle to this side now. So I'm just gonna go through the delicates, heading in that direction. One bead at a time. And the last one. And now, before we do anything else, we want to make sure our tile is in there. Put it in there. Perfect fit. Gorgeous, isn't it? Now, time to do the back. So to start off, first 4 rows are identical to this side. So first row you go around without adding 50 no. Second row you go around, add 150 no. Third row go around, add 250 no's. Fourth row go around, 250 no's. And then once you have done that, meet me back here. So I have the 4 rows ready. As you can see, they're exactly the same as the 4 rows on this side. Now, if you have a double-sided tile, I would just go through the delicates without adding any delicates. So you finish your peyote and just go around adding 350 no's just like we did on this side. But if you want to cover it, then you'll just continue doing the same thing. So if you probably noticed, it's the same process over and over again. The further you go, the narrower your peyote part becomes, meaning it leaves more space in between them. So you would have to increase the number of 50 no's to fill the gap. See what I mean? So I will just start the 5th row with you, but I think I will let you continue on your own from there because it's pretty much the same. And in the following pictures after that, I'm gonna leave the number of 50 no's I used. It's not exact science. Basically, you just have to add enough to fill the gap, but not too much because you want to be able to bring these strips of peyote closer together to have a flat surface. See how flat it is? So let's finish this 4th row and start number 5. So I have to add another 5th delicate here, finish the row. And then I'm just gonna straight away step up. Pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through this last sticking out bead, and this time I'm gonna add 3 50 no's. 1, 2, 3, and then go through the sticking out bit on the other side. So this is row number 5, and you continue the same way. Add peyote, 350 nose, peyote, 350 nose, peyote, 350 nose, and then continue following the number of 50 nose in the following pictures. So here I am. We finished 16 rows, and in the last row we added 9 50 nose. So from here it's gonna be slightly different, and from here I'm gonna do the whole thing until the end with you. So I just finished the last row, added my last delica, and here I am. I have to take my needle to this bit here. So here I am. I'm gonna go up. It's a bit tricky beading on a flat surface, but you get a knack of it. Well, when you are doing this whole thing, it takes quite a while to do this piece, so you get better at it eventually. And then here I have to take it through this whole lot of 50 nose. So then through this delica here. So we're trying not to create any more thread paths and follow the existing ones. And then finally to this top. Here I'm gonna add a delica. Like so. And we repeat the same thing to these corners. So go down this bit here. Go through this whole lot of 50 nose. Through this delica here and, well, straight up to the bead where I need to be. Pick up a delica. Go through the next sticking out bead. So go down one bead. Probably would have been easy if I bent my needle and had it curvy, but too OCD to do that. Just have to keep pushing through the 50 nose. Through this delica here and up to the top sticking out one. Pick up a delica through the next sticking out bead. And just one left. Go down one bead. Go through those 50 nose. Like so. Go through this delica here. And if you can straight up to the top. And add the last delica. this is what I have. Now I have to take my needle to the top bit here. Go down to the next delica. Go through this whole lot of 50 notes. A bit tight. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go down through the next delica. That will allow me to go through the next set of 50 notes instead. And that shouldn't be a problem, because we've been through those beats only once. So, and make my way to the top delica. Don't skip any beats on the way. Don't rush, otherwise you'll end up seeing them eventually. And to the top delica. Now here, pick up 9 delicas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 3, 9. From this top beat, go to the next one. And repeat 9 delicas. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go through this top beat. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Through this top beat. And another 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And through this top beat there. That's what we have. I'm gonna go through the first delica on this side. Like so. Pick up a delica. See where I am? I'm gonna skip one beat and then go through the next. Pick up a delica. Skip one beat, go through the next. Pick up a delica. Skip one beat, go through the next. Pick up a delica. Skip one beat, go through the last. So basically we created peyote. And now here I'm not gonna go through the top beat, I'm just gonna go straight through the first beat of this row. Like so. Pick up a delica. Skip one beat, go through the next. Pick up a delica. Skip one beat, go through the one after. Pick up a delica. Skip one beat, go through the one after. Pick pick up a delica, skip one bead, and go through the last in the row. This is what you have. Don't go through that top bead, go through the first bead of the next row. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the last. Like so. And then go through the first bead on this last side. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, go through the next. Pick up a delica, skip one bead, and go through the last. So we have all four sides ready. Now here I'm gonna go through the first bead on the next side. And then step up. Pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through this last sticking out bead. Pick up 150 now, and then go through the sticking out bead on the next side. So basically we're doing the mini version of what we did previously. Pick up a delica, go through the next side, next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through the last sticking out bead. Pick up 150 now, and then go through the sticking out bead on the next side. Pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead. Pick up a delica, go through the last sticking out bead. 150 now, and then go through the sticking out bead on the next side. 1 delica, go through the next sticking out bead. 1 delica, go through the next sticking out bead. 1 delica, go through this last sticking out bead. 150 now. See where we are? See, there's 1, 2, 3 beads stacked, right? Like a ladder. So you go through the middle one. That's how it looks now. Next row, step up, pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead, pick up a delica, go through the next sticking out bead, 150 go through the sticking out bead on the next side, delica, through the next sticking out bead, delica, through the next, 150 go through the sticking out bead on the next side, delica, through the next sticking out bead, delica, through the next sticking out bead, 150 go through the sticking out bead on next side, sticking out bead through the next, delica through the next sticking out bead, delica through the next sticking out bead, 150 again, see, 1 2 3, you go through the middle one, this row done, step up, delica through the next sticking out bead, 250 go through the sticking out bead on the next side, delica through the next sticking out bead, 250 go through the sticking out bead on next side, 1 delica through the sticking out bead, 250 through the sticking out bead on next side, 1 delica through the sticking out bead, 250 see, 1 2 3 go through the middle, this row done, step up, pick up 250 go through the next sticking out bead on the other side, 250 sticking out bead on this side, 250 sticking out bead on this side, and the last 250 back to this. Now go through these 250 pick up 250 see where I am. I'm gonna take my needle. See, I want these 2 beads lie diagonally there, so I'm gonna turn it around like so. See where I am? I'm gonna go like so. I'm gonna go through these 2 beads here. Like so. And I'm gonna go through the delica. through this 250 now. Again, I'm gonna take my needles to this middle 250 knots I added. And this time around, I'm gonna go through the 250 knots on this side. So basically centering it between all those 50 knots. And that's it. I'm gonna go ahead, get rid of the tails, and then we'll compare our bezels. And we are done. Look how gorgeous they are. I'm in love. So next tutorial, we're gonna make a necklace with this, so you can go ahead and get this ready. Next necklace with this is gonna be heavy because this whole thing is ton of glass. We have a glass tile, glass beads, so it's pretty heavy. Guess what? You know what? I'm actually gonna, let me see. I'm gonna see how much it weighs. 53 grams. Not too bad. I thought it would be heavier, but... So with this, we're gonna make a necklace next tutorial. This is gold. I think gold foil is still my favorite. This is blue. And then this is brown. Look at the back. Here. And that's it. So in the description box there will be all the links you need for the materials. You can go and check them out and stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.